What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American, here today to react and learn about American things that really surprise Brits. Today, I want to take a look at this Reddit discussion where somebody asked people that have traveled to the USA, what surprised you the most? And I thought it would be very fun as an American to take a look at some of the top answers here. Because as Americans, we are really confused about many things in British culture. So today, I want to flip the script and see what British people think are really strange and surprising things about American culture. So, with that being said, let's take a look here. It says, I wondered what people in the UK that have visited the USA were surprised by. And I thought I would ask here. And a whole bunch of British people have responded, so let's take a look. Starting with how much Americans go on about British food online, I was very disappointed with how bad most food was. Wow. Well, for one thing, I don't know where all this talk is about Americans going on about British food or Americans making fun of British food. I don't know why Americans would really do that. I don't even think most Americans understand or know about most British food, let alone to criticize it. But if that is true, this person who is British and actually came here to America was in fact disappointed by our American food. What even, if you come to America as a British person, what are you expecting to eat as a classic American food? Like a hamburger? Some barbecue, like fried chicken, or stuff like that? And I wonder where this person went, because also, America is so huge, and certain areas and regions of the United States are known for different foods. Some areas are known for pizza or something, and other areas are known for their barbecue. And I don't know. I just think it's kind of silly if Americans make fun of British food. I don't think that even makes much sense. I worked in Washington State for a while, and the high price and low quality of fresh products was shocking. Ah, now that makes more sense to me. The the scarcity of fresh products in particular, that would be a huge shock, I think, to most British people. Because here in America, I've had to learn about this actually. Our food and our ingredients are really bad, compared to other parts of the world, Britain, for instance. Our ingredients, our stuff is filled with all these weird food preservatives and food dyes and chemicals and a lot of stuff that's actually illegal and banned in the UK. Scary enough. So I wonder if that's kind of what they were getting at. That when British people come and eat American food, there's just something off about it with the taste or all the sugar. I know we have a lot of extra sugar in our stuff. The scary thing is that for us Americans, it's just normal and it just tastes normal. I bet you that British food would taste a little strange to me because my palate has been ruined by all the American sugar contents and chemicals. My God. Oh, okay, that's actually a good one. That's interesting. Let's take a look. More American things that surprise Brits when they visit here. Americans hate pedestrians with a passion. It's impossible to walk in some places. I just thought it was funny how blunt this was. We hate pedestrians with a passion. Yeah. And maybe I'm laughing because it sounds so true. Here in America, for one thing, I don't know if it's like this in Britain, but a lot of people tend to walk across the road where you're not supposed to walk, and they're very, very slow and sort of inconsiderate. I don't know what that's all about. Like, and they're not even looking both directions. It's like Americans just don't care or something. It's weird. So I think the rest of us Americans, we do hate those pedestrians with a passion. It's impossible to walk in some places, even when there was pavement, it would just end out of nowhere. When the fella at the crossing is green cars can still try to run you over. Oh, when the crossing is green, cars still try to run you over. Well, the other thing about this is, in many parts of the United States, most people drive. It's actually pretty rare to see someone walking out in the town or on the sidewalk, or it's actually pretty rare. So when somebody is actually at a crosswalk, sometimes it takes me by surprise and I have to like pay attention and be like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to like stop and watch out. Luckily, nothing bad has happened yet, but I feel like I'm paying decent attention when I drive. But if you translate that kind of thought process to all the other Americans, yeah, people are in danger. If you're walking, if you're a pedestrian in America, there's not a lot of not a lot of you out there. So Americans get very impatient because it's like, oh, what is this person walking? Like, especially if they're walking across the road. They're like, ah, oh, move already. Like, why are you even walking? This is America. You're supposed to be driving. Like, I think there's some of that attitude as well. Wow, that's a really interesting observation, actually. Really, this is fascinating for me to see the British perspective on America. Things that I don't even think about, like how mad I get at pedestrians. I need to stop that. Um, just the sheer size and beauty. Ah, but this is a compliment. Oh, that's very nice. Very nice. You know, I'm open to like the criticisms that that our food tastes bad or has weird chemicals, and we're not pedestrian or walking friendly. But it's kind of nice to see a compliment here. The size and beauty of the United States. We RV'd for 4 weeks, and you can travel for hours without seeing any meaningful civilization. Yeah, this is a really good one because I think a lot of Americans don't realize that other countries around the world, like Britain, for instance, you can actually get to a lot of places pretty quickly because the country is a lot smaller in comparison to the United States. And here in the United States, if you grow up here your whole life, you live your whole life here and you just think that everything is so far away from each other, there's so much space. Like one single state in the United States, it would take you a long time to just travel around one state, let alone the entire country. The U.S. does feel so big and separated with a lot of empty nothingness in between, and that's just normal. So hearing about this from like a British perspective kind of reminds me of that because that's just our normal. And on the flip side, I think a lot of Americans would be absolutely shocked that in Britain you can like do a road trip and drive your car around like all of England, for instance, and you could try to do that in like a couple of days or weeks and see most of everything and get into a lot of places that are just a couple hours apart. Whereas that's not even a thought here. So that's actually really cool. That's a really cool observation. What else? How long basic shop transactions take? Really? Is our like at the grocery store or at a convenience store? It takes a long time in America? What? I've not really noticed that, but then again, I'm American. Maybe I haven't noticed. You can be waiting 10 minutes for 2 or 3 people to buy about 4 items total. Nobody is talking or doing anything. I don't understand. Wait. I think I kind of get what they're talking about. I've observed this in various stores, supermarkets especially, and food places in LA, New York City, and Florida. So it's not a one off. When you're used to racing against the stupidly fast Aldi scanners, it's quite a culture shock. Really? This is something I've never heard before. This is purely a British observation. I love this. They noticed that in America, we take a long time to do transactions? Do you mean that we just take our time? Like, I have to admit, as an American, if I go to the grocery store, or especially a fast food place where you're ordering food, people are very, very slow. It does feel like in America there is an attitude of like, you're going to take your time. Maybe it kind of stems off of the fact that Americans are a little more self centered and a little more focused on ourself and our time. And it's like, if it's my turn at the cash register, it's my turn. And I waited and I'm going to take my sweet time. I personally try not to do that. I, for one thing, don't really want to be there for a long time. So I'm fast and I don't want to inconvenience other people. But I think a lot of Americans don't care. Just don't really care and just take their time and don't really worry about how they're affecting other people. I think that's kind of the observation that is emphasized here by them saying, I've noticed in a lot of stores, people are really slow. Interesting. But here in America, it's just kind of expected or normal. But it does like get on my nerves too from time to time if someone is really slow. Huh. Okay. What are some more American things that surprise British people? How big the portions are! Yeah. Finally, we got to this one. Oh, I've been waiting for this. This is one of the best things about living in America. Taking leftovers home is common. Yes. Yes, you go to a restaurant, you get food, and at the end, they often offer a little styrofoam box or a plastic container or something because it's expected. Someone is not going to finish the meal because there's a lot of food. And I have to say, as a hungry man, I love it. Maybe it's obviously not a good thing, like all joking aside, because it increases sort of what we're trained to expect as a normal portion for eating. And I think a lot of Americans probably eat past the point of being full. I'm pretty sure, like in Japan, random fact, they have a philosophy of eating until you're like 80% full, and then waiting, and then your food will reach your stomach and intestines, and you will fill up and feel more full in the next 15 minutes, and then you'll feel good. But in America, that is just hearsay. That is nonsense. We just eat past the point of pain because that's the food on the plate. And I enjoy it, but you can't argue against the fact that it's not good. It's not good. But any tourists without any form of reheating is silly. I can't eat the large portions, so a lot gets wasted. That's a big thing as well. There's a lot of waste. I've noticed this. Even as an American who's around this a lot, I still think it's really unfortunate. If people don't take home the extra food, and there's usually extra food, because like I said, in America, it's true. The portions are big. Some people just don't want to take it home. And you look around at the tables at the restaurant, and there's a lot of wasted food. A lot of food that just gets thrown away. And that's really bad. I think that's actually horrible. So the fact that that's an observation that this British person also made doesn't totally surprise me, because I've even noticed that. And yeah, I think that's actually another reason why in America, besides health reasons, we should probably tone it down a bit. But I don't really see that happening. All right, let's take a look at a few more here. I was surprised at how unfriendly the customer service was, as they go about it being bad in Europe all the time. Really, this again, like, maybe this is like an internet thing? Americans making fun of British food or European customer service? I don't know. It's not really something I think about, but this person, anyways, this person has to say that the customer service in America is bad. Is it bad? I think it just depends on what company you're talking to. I've had wonderful customer service experiences, and I've had horrible. So I don't even know what to say about this. You can get either in America, I think. I was expecting super service and super friendliness, but felt it was actually rather sluggish, and the friendliness was cold and fake. I fear I missed some of cultural indicator that I would tip or something. Oh, this is customer service in real life, like physically. I was kind of thinking about on the phone, talking to your internet provider or like Amazon about a package. This sounds like it's in real life. Yeah, yeah, I think this is true. There's definitely a fakeness to the customer service. In America, people at stores are told to act friendly, say hello. You have to say hello to the customer. The customer is always right. That's like the philosophy American workers are told they have to abide by, and that just makes everyone come across as extremely fake and forced because they're like, "Hello, can I help you with anything? I hope you're having a nice day." It's like a robot or something. I don't know if they do that in Britain, but that is how it's like here. Maybe that's what they're talking about. That's true. That's true. Like many of these things, I've kind of stopped noticing after a while. Because once you walk into enough stores and people talk to you like a zombie, you stop really noticing. You're just like, hello, and walk by. The extremity of poverty and the amount of people with limps generally looking medically messed up was shocking. You get warned about it, but it's different in person. Certainly, there's poverty, homelessness, people with medical conditions that aren't treated. This really depends on where you are in the United States. I think this is a little more common in the big American cities like LA and New York. Do you not see that so much in like London or other big British cities? Because I think it's no secret, although people don't like to talk about it, that there's a lot of people really struggling in America. Like as good as a reputation America has as like a strong economy and place to live, the American dream, and the land of opportunity, there's a lot of people really struggling. I thought I read a statistic that like 50% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. As crazy as that sounds. Now, some of those people are wealthy and they're just terrible at managing their money and they're living paycheck to paycheck. And but a lot of those people are also very poor and financially distressed. Then you add in our healthcare system where you need a job or you need money or you're not getting healthcare that you need, which is a horrible situation. So yes, I suppose all of this is just normal stuff that Americans are very much aware of. I think for British people, it comes across kind of shocking that that could exist in a place like America, especially since we think we're so great and grand. Yeah, pretty embarrassing, pretty accurate actually observation. How high the water in the toilets? This is just going all over the place. It's too splashy for my liking. I felt that I really had to control my pee. What? How high the water is in the toilets. I've never heard this one. Is this a thing? In Britain, is the water lower in the toilet? Probably better for the environment, probably saving more water. Maybe us Americans are just bad at aiming or, again, just don't care. But I didn't even know our toilets had more water that are splashing us. I just thought I thought that was just part of going to the bathroom. No, I don't really find myself getting splashed, or I don't know what to say about that. I think that's pretty funny. That's a very interesting observation. These were all very interesting observations to me, actually. I really just wanted to see from the British perspective things that British people notice about the United States that I don't notice because I'm American and I just live it every day. I don't notice it. So this was very eye-opening, actually. A lot of great observations. So I enjoyed this quite a bit. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on American things that surprise you as a British person. That'd be very interesting to hear about more of that. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain and British culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.